What's going on, guys? So today we're talking about the best-selling cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Under $5 or less, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Penny Stock Market Watch. We have a new king in town, battling boxer King Dempsey. If this card is special summon, you can take one level 4 or lower fire warrior monster, which is the reason why this card is so popular, or battling boxing monster, or spell and trap, from your deck. Either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. There are some interesting effects that some of the battling boxer spell and traps have when they're engraved. And then you could detach one material from a monster you control, and if you do, your opponent cannot target battling boxer monsters you control with card effects. So that's not really that super duper relevant. What this is, though, this is a generic rank 4 warrior monster that we can use in Infernoble, right? And that's the main reason why this card, which started at like $15 and slowly started to dip down and has now officially dipped into the penny stock range, because people probably aren't running it in Infernoble that much. But that's why it plateaued, right? Because it could have very easily gotten to 440 and then 4 and then 395 and then 3. That's not what happened, though. So this actually might be a really good time to buy, especially if you can get these two. These two, when you're watching this, I don't know when you guys watch this video, but if you guys are watching this video, if these celerities for 290s are still hanging around, go ahead and pull the trigger. I probably will end up pulling the trigger, though. Let's just do this. Let's just do this right now, because some people who do market watches like to shy away. Not me. This is a really good buy if it's at that spot, right? If you can get it for like the $3.50, $3 mark, something to that effect, right? Because most of the stuff is relatively the same. We do see Volcanic Emperor in here as well. To my knowledge, I could be wrong, but to my knowledge, Volcanics just haven't been very good. I mean, they've gotten tops here or there, but the impact on the meta that Soul Burning Volcano was supposed to have, I think I saw a Rescue Ace deck profile. They got like top 7. It just wasn't there. It wasn't like, and I think that's why Soul Burning Volcano as a set just hasn't. It's still sitting at like $35 mark. That's why, though, because Volcanic Emperor is a great card, but the archetype is not that good, right? Was 15, sitting at 9 for a while, and people are like, "Oh, this deck's not very good." But in a similar manner to the Battling Boxer card, $388, it's under the $4 mark. That feels like it's pretty good value, actually. I mean, you got a bunch here at $389, and then once these are gone, it's back to being a $4 card, and I understand, like, you buy 75 of these for, if we go to the card real quick, you buy 75 of these for, I got a bunch of other stuff hanging out in here too. There's the Battling Boxer Dempsey, which I'm actually not going to buy that. But if you buy 75 of these for $294 and you're on $95, you sell all of the 75 back for $4 a pop. Now we're talking $300, right? And with different things that could come in with that, you have the opportunity to make like $6. That's not a lot, right? We're not like, climbing over tables to get $6, but it all adds up. And the fact of the matter is that this is a really good card in an archetype that isn't as good as people thought, but is still solid. There are a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetypes that at the very least are okay. And I think Volcanics are definitely in that category as well. I do kind of want to take a look at this card. This card's also relatively new. This is a new field spell for Noble. This is Infernoble. This is not Noble Knight. All fire warrior monsters you control gain 500 attack. Once per turn, you can pay 12. Add a Noble Arms card from your deck to your hand, except this one. Once per turn, if the previous effect was applied this turn, you can target one Noble Knight monster card. No, it is a new field spell for Noble Knights. I thought so. I don't know why it says. Maybe it. Interesting. Maybe not, actually. Maybe it is Infernal. Anyway, monster card in your spell and trap. Special summon it. And also, if you've activated this effect while you didn't control their main level 9 synchro monster, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except warrior monsters. So that's actually a really good field spell. Obviously, that's why this card's kind of taken off. It was above $5 for a relatively long time, and then just recently snuck under, and then hit the plateau. So that's kind of the theme, right? You know, these newer cards that are on the penny stock market watch are because the fact that these sets weren't super duper popular, and I mean, like, Duelist Nexus was more popular than Soul Burning Volcano, but they weren't like groundbreaking sets. And so now a lot of these cards are in circulation, and more packs are being opened. And now people have the opportunity to get these cards at a discount, and their new market price is being held down. I mean, $450, it's teetering to go right back up above the penny stock mark. So if you can get Noble Arms Museum for like $4, I would definitely consider pulling the trigger. But like I always say, spend your money how you feel. Don't let anybody on the internet tell you what you can and cannot do with your money. That's just, good advice on anything, not just Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I do want to say there are 2 Ash Blossoms lingering around. I saw this, structure deck at a Target that I was at, and I was curious about it because I know Target was selling it for about $12, and TCG Player selling it for about $15, and you have evenly matched in here, which is definitely never going to get hit. It's not good enough to do so, but it's definitely a really good card and isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Then you have Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs in here, Harpy's Feather Duster, Raigeki. But I've talked about this structure deck a lot. I haven't really talked about the Crystal Beast structure deck a lot because it's not very good. But I have talked about Ash Blossom. There's a reason why this card is always on the penny stock. Like, I don't know. You guys can do the homework if you want to. Go to the last time I did a video, right? And you didn't see Ash Blossom on the screen because it just is always one of the best-selling cards under $5 or less. It's a great hand trap. I'm really glad that it's affordable. There was a long time where there was, 6 copies at 20, 7 copies at 20, 8 copies at 20, but now it's finally a $3 card. And if you don't pick up your play set now, you are going to regret it when it's like a $5, $6 card. That's just kind of how I feel about that. I just actually want to talk about this card because I just faced this card when I was playing the bug deck. And I just wanted to mention, I haven't faced this card often. Like, I've played a lot of duels, and this card just doesn't come up very often. And I think that, plus the reason why, when this card is summoned, it doesn't really do a whole lot, right? We know about the first effect, right? We can get rid of a link. We can get rid of a monster our opponent controls to link summon that card, right? If it's link summon, you can negate the face-up effects of all monsters opponent controls, right? It's that Dark Ruler no more that can be responded to, right? But I think, that definitely is an activated effect. But this link summon card is unaffected by opponent's activated effects, which would have been really good if it didn't say unless they target this card, right? So the Raigekis, the Lightning Storms, they can't get rid of it, right? But the Shurigs, and Sprite Sprind as well. I think the Runic one that destroys monsters, all of those target, right? Once per turn, opponent activates a card or effect that would special summon a monster from the grave, which is really good, but not just special summon monster. You can negate the activation. And only 3k attack. It's really not that big. So this card actually isn't as good as just because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get into this card, and the ROI is just not usually there, the return on investment. It's cool though because it can get rid of your opponent's ultimate Falcon, and then if your opponent tries to summon it back out, it can negate that right from the grave. But if it's $3, I'd consider it, but it's just the juice just doesn't usually end up being worth the squeeze when it comes to ultimate goddess of the world. The underworld goddess of the closed world. Excuse me, I said that name 16 different ways wrong. It's an okay card, not a great card. I would pay $3 for it. I don't know if I pay anything more than that. I definitely, if it's under $3, that's where you start to go, okay, maybe I could try to, just because you only need 1 copy, right? Nightmare Magician. I don't get it. I think it's because it says Magician, so people think, and it's level 7 with very near to Dark Magician stats, so people assume it's a Dark Magician card. It's an illusion, though. Okay, maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know. When the casual player base, like I like to, I do my best to try to keep up with whatever it is that the casual player base likes and dislikes. I don't know why the illusion archetype is so popular. I think it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. And there's definitely situations where this archetype, when combined with the branded archetype, which I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find that. We'll try this because Gazelle gets used a lot. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, it probably has gotten like a top 32 or a top 64 at a regional, and there's just nothing on TCG Player to confirm it. But it's really not like that's with branded. Like by itself, this Illusion Gazelle, like Chimera Fusion archetype is just not like even that good of a rogue option. So I think like you get it if you want to. I just don't know what's making the archetype so popular. Like, is it because it's support for a card that Yugi used in the original show? Is that all that it takes to make an archetype popular? Is like it's like kind of it's like if like Celtic the Magic Guardian got an archetype, which it kind of has some stuff for it. Would that be super popular, right? Like Kuribo, the Kuribo deck isn't super popular. I don't know, but Nightmare Magician, Chimera Fusion, what else was Gazelle, Mirror Sword Knight, and if we go all the way down, not that far down, that's actually it. But that's still for 1, 2, 3, 4 cards that are all from that archetype, that are all top 25 best-selling cards under $5 or less. I guess we can take a look to see what the core looks like on eBay. I've mentioned this before. The reason I always go to eBay, though, is because eBay, I feel like, gives me a better opportunity to... That's not what I wanted. I was right there. Get the full deck. Know exactly what I'm going to get. I go to TCG Player. I go this one, 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 this one. My like 4 or 5 different sellers. I'm paying shipping on all of them because I couldn't get it above $5, or maybe shipping on 3 of them because I couldn't get it above $5. And they all send it, but this one's sending it later, or this one doesn't send it at all. A bunch of different things like that. It gets really frustrating. So I'd rather just go to eBay, maybe pay a little bit more, but just to get it all, right? Because even this. There's no Despia stuff, but you do get branded opening, which is, we just saw, actually, $3 card. You get branded fusion, which is about $1. You get I don't know what Patchwork and Chain are at. I know Patchwork and Chain for a while. Well, actually, we can check this out a little bit. Patchwork and Chain for a while were relatively expensive. Like, they weren't penny. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I thought this had cooled down. I went to this version because it's the ultra rare version. But if we come all the way down, Fight for Patrick's also a 25-cent card, so that's not really that much anymore either. And then you get the illusion stuff. You get all of it, and you get Fallen Wallbass. You get 1 Alibur, which is unfortunate. You get some good fusion monsters. Kind of wish you would have multiples of these 3 on the right. I mean, I know we have 2. Right, of the main guy, and that's the main thing that's bringing it up. Like, that card, I think, is like a $15 card. Masquerade is still relatively expensive. Dragostapelia, which is cool because I think it's Dragostapelia, but it's the Mud Dragon as well. 2 really good Super Poly targets, even though Super Poly is not in here. For $120, I don't think you pay for shipping. No, shipping as well. So for $130.95. Could be cool, right? That actually could be okay. And you could also just get this as well, which comes with everything that you need We are missing some stuff, actually. We're missing some stuff that's like here, like Mirror Sword Knight, right? Yeah. I think that's what Mirror Sword Knight's that archetype, right? Yeah, it's an illusion card. Yeah, of course it is. So I don't know why it's just some of the stuff. Is it because it's from a different thing? I don't know. So if you guys are interested, it could be a cool little budget-friendly deck. I don't know. It doesn't seem very good, but that's totally up to you. I don't really care how you guys go crazy and spend your money. But as from an investment standpoint, I'm not really quite sure what it is that's making the archetype so popular. So I can't really say it's a good buy. It feels like it's a bad buy. It feels like it's a good time to sell. It feels like it's only going to get more reprints and cheaper. But your guess is as good as mine. Sometimes. I feel like sometimes it's not. But truly, neither of us know the future. Even if we would like to. I wanted to talk about the Dogmatica stuff, though, real quick. Nadir Servant is finally under $5. Finally, a penny stock. Isn't that exciting? I don't think it has been before, though. I mean, this thing is really just taken, it came out. It was around a penny stock before. It was getting there, and then it just shot up because everybody was like, wait, I can get triple Nadir Servants for, $20. This is too good to be true. And now the Dogmatica stuff is kind of starting to fall out of favor, fall out of the meta. Even though this card was used at a couple of a couple of branded decks that were using this at a couple of regionals. So this is still a really relevant card. Because you got to think it's a 1-for-1, right? And depending on what monster you send, you can really get a lot of potential with that, right? And so I also wanted to look at too. I mean, you can get Ecclesias for $6 for a playset, Punishment for $3 for a playset. So we're already at $9, right? And all that stuff is pennies. Enstis, this is probably a good time to buy Enstis. 35-cent card. You only need one. I guess you could run two if you'd like. Now there's another card too. I think this card is the main reason. Let me see if I can remember. There's a lot of cards with Slayer in the name. What it's called, Ultimate Slayer. This card's actually a lot cheaper too. This card was supposed to just take off. But anywho, not a penny stock, so I'm not going to talk about it. So this is about, there's literally 355 from Project CCG at 450. It's really holding the line there. Once we get past the Korean ones, that's your main person too. I think if somehow that gets bought out, we can go to page 2 to see what's going on. This could actually be a really good time to buy this archetype. This feels like a really good time. There are some archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or really more packages than archetypes that have a tendency to linger. The adventurer stuff, the punk stuff, Italy Gamma is still kind of lingering. There's just the Scythe engine took forever. That Scythe is one of the best examples I can come up with off the top of my head, and obviously it's banned now. The Frog engine's another one, right? Once again banned. Nadir Servant, this package, I think it's just not good now. It could definitely have an interaction that's very interesting with a few years to come, and we're talking, like I said, 15 for a playset, 6 for playsets, that's 21, 3 for a playset, that's 24, and for the rest of the Dogmatica stuff, you got to get Enstis. You probably should get Omega. Omega was another thing I was going to search. So we're looking at 25, now 30. We're looking at $30 for a really, really good package, a Nadir Servant package. That could be interesting. I will just say Minor Tangent could be a really good buy. I feel like we might be getting to a spot where 3 Omega might be okay. Don't quote me on that. But let me know what you guys think. What are the best selling cards under $5 or less? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe for more content. Most importantly, have a good day.